What's going on, y'all? It's JD Piquel. Today on the Hard Count, we're going to talk about the Big Ten, the ACC, and the Pac-12, all in talks for an alliance and what that means for the future of college football. First things first, subscribe to 365 Sports. We are not making this YouTube channel anything that you have to pay for. It's just free 99 content. We want to keep it that way. If you could subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, that would go a long way for us and allow us to spread our channel, our presence, and would just be phenomenal for us as we kick up our content going into college football season. So speaking of college football season and college football in general, news broke that, again, the Big Ten, Pac-12, ACC are all having a little club talking about forming an alliance. And so the reason this is concerning if you're a Big 12 fan is you're like, whoa, wait a second. We were just talking to the Pac-12 too. What happened to that? And so Max Olson from The Athletic had a quote. He said, while the specifics on how a scheduling pact might work is unclear, sources in the three conferences suggest the larger goal is alignment so that the Pac-12, Big Ten, and ACC can work and vote together. That's important, can vote together on major issues such as college football playoff expansion and upcoming NCAA governance changes. Again, that's Max Olson from The Athletic. He's phenomenal, but this is extremely concerning for anyone who's outside of those conferences, meaning if you're a Big 12 fan, this is not good news. But really what I got from that quote was, okay, this is happening because they want to try and tip the scales back in their favor away from the SEC. Obviously, if you've been keeping up with anything that's going on in the news, especially sports news, you know that Texas, Oklahoma said, deuces, we're out Big 12, we're going to the SEC. Everyone's like, okay, that's going to change the entire world of college football, but proceed. And so for these conferences that are, your powers, quote unquote, they are now trying to take back some of that power. So as it stands right now, the SEC has a whole lot of say when it comes to expansion, when it comes to the governance of the NCAA, because they have those enormous brands. And so if the Pac-12, ACC, and the Big Ten all get together, it's like, okay, well, we'll see your 16 teams. We'll one-up you with, gosh, I mean, if they align together, that'd be a mega conference, which I don't think they'll do. But if they band together, it's okay, it's us three versus you, SEC. Now we have some more autonomy. Now we can kind of call our own shots. And that's crucial. So one AD confirmed that. He said, this is their shot back at the SEC. And I think that's exactly what it is, because the SEC made a lot of people really mad by this move. And you can understand that if you're not in the SEC, this move probably rubbed you a little bit of the wrong way. It's kind of like stacking the team. It's like when you talk about the NBA and the super teams, people understand it's part of the game. People understand it's happening. Nobody's, waving a red flag besides Bob Bowlesby. We'll get to that in a second. Nobody's waving a red flag saying, hey, this can't happen. But a lot of people are saying, well, that's kind of cheap. That kind of leaves the rest of us out in no man's land. And so, again, for these three conferences to band together, I think it's smart by them. It's a smart business move by them to say, we're going to go ahead and try and take back what was ours and eventually, kind of get some even footing for the future of college football. Now, again, we mentioned it earlier in the video. If you're a Big 12 fan, if you're a Big 12 athletic director, if you're Bob Bowlesby, you're saying, whoa, time out. Why are we not included in this? I thought we were friends. Pac-12, we just talked. We just had a conversation about merger, according to reports from The Athletic, who's also reporting this. What's going on here? I thought we had a good thing going. And to me, this just screams, hey, man, there's not enough juice. There's not enough juice in the Big 12. It's tough because those remaining 8 teams are on the field talking about college football. A strong conference. I mean, TCU's top 25, or should be top 25 in my opinion in the country. They're also top 25 in terms of TV views. Oklahoma State's also top 25 in terms of TV views. There's a lot of, and back to the on-field product, there's a lot of teams that are trending upward in my opinion. But that's not what's calling the shots here. And that's what I think I have an issue with conference realignment. Again, that's another video that we've already done, so go and check that out if you haven't. This is not about the X's and O's. It's not about the players. It's not about the coaches. This is about us as fans in terms of eyeballs on the TV, and even more so, what those eyeballs on the TV translate to, which is greenbacks, dollar bill, y'all. And again, those top 8 teams, when your biggest chips are TCU and Oklahoma State in terms of viewers, and you have big fish out there like Ohio State, you have big fish out there like Michigan, you have big fish out there like Clemson, like all of these big brands in these other conferences are just more appealing chips to you if you are searching to make an alliance with a different conference. So it hurts the Big 12, but when you look at the stats, like the average views across 59 games the last 2 years, so 59 games excluding OU and UT, we're talking Big 12 only conference games, you're averaging 886,000 viewers. That's tough. To put that in perspective, that is a quarter, 1/4 of what the Oklahoma Sooners are averaging over that same period of time. If it makes sense, it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the way they're approaching it right now. So what does this mean for the future of college football? Well, right off the bat, I think it just even more so signals that the super conference era is here, y'all. Like, it is upon us. It is happening. And like I mentioned in previous videos, this is musical chairs. And so good for these three conferences for saying, okay, we're going to find a way to team up and take a chair together. We're going to all get together and we're going to make sure that we all have chairs. And if you have a chair, you have a chair, you have a chair, we're going to be good. So if I'm Bob Bowlesby, I need some more juice from you. I need some more juice from you, Bob Bowlesby, because it was cool that you tried to do the merger thing, but obviously that meeting didn't go so well. And even if it did go well, it didn't go well enough to keep the Pac-12 from talking to the ACC and the Big Ten. Because I'm just left here to assume if that went so well, if that was just end-all, be-all, 10 out of 10 meeting, or those conversations were 10 out of 10, I don't know that you continue to have these conversations. You're not talking to other girls if you have a girlfriend. Much less, I'll take this a step further. You're not talking to other girls. You're not even looking at other girls if you have a fiance. Okay, so we'll just leave that there. That's a weird metaphor. If you tracked it, you tracked it. If not, I'm so sorry. Please keep watching. But in terms of going back to the super conference topic, I mean, it's here. The SEC has said go. We are all now being reactionary as other conferences. So for the Big 12, Bob Bowlesby needs to drop the whole deal with trying to wave a red flag as to foul play and getting this in court. I think that has less juice than a lot of people want to believe. Oklahoma and UT are gone. Deal with it. Now deal with trying to save your conference in my opinion, the most effective way to save your conference is trying to win one of these three conferences back and figure out a merger. I don't know how you do that. Again, I've made my point that the Pac-12 is the way to do that. Any of these three would honestly be a better situation than trying to go back to the AAC or trying to, I guess, add independence or try and just be an 8-team conference. That doesn't work well either. So all things considered, Bob Bowlesby, step your game up. Big 10, Pac-12, ACC, bravo. It's the world we're living in. Super conference era is here. It's upon us. It's not going anywhere. It's only going to get more and more messy until all the dust settles and we have the remaining conferences, however many that is, are left standing. So that's it for us here at The Hard Count. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, follow me on Twitter if you so choose. Again, tell a friend to tell their friend. Kind of pyramid scheme style, but not exactly pyramid scheme style. If you're tracking with us, we're going to keep this party rolling. We'll see y'all next time.